Well, the holidays are still coming, so I'm going to do my top 5 favorite Santa Clauses. Well, at least movie Santa Clauses. I mean, I know there's only one Santa Claus, right? Anyway, I'm just kidding around. There's a bunch of actors who've played Santa Claus, and I really don't have enough time to do like 10 or 20, so I'm just going to narrow it down to 5. So here it is, my top 5 favorite actors that have played Santa Claus. Let's get things started and let's start listing this shit. Let's go! Top 5 Santa Clauses.
Gotta get married?
Yes.
Yep, Tim Allen. I'm just kidding around. But I do really like his version of Santa Claus, even though he's more of a sarcastic Santa Claus. And by the third movie, he kind of gets a little unlikable. Like, he hypnotizes her parents into thinking that they work in a toy factory or something. I don't know. And they're in Canada? Seriously? I don't know. Anyhow, despite all that, Tim Allen is still a fun Santa Claus. Though in the first movie, he was kind of, well, Tim Allen. But by the second movie, he really got into the role and he was a very likable Santa Claus. I enjoyed him in about almost every scene in the movie. It was just a really fun trip to me. Yeah, a lot of times he's still just Tim Allen in a Santa Claus suit, but when he's fully fledged in the Santa suit, he's really fun to watch and enjoyable. You can still see he loves Christmas almost as much as anyone else. And the fact that they gave him the Scott Calvin initials is just great. I really enjoy his interpretation of Santa Claus, and honestly, I don't really see any harm in it. I mean, yeah, the 3 Santa Claus movies are bad, but for a time, they lasted a long while, and they were really well worth the effort put into them. I mean, it's the 90s, early 2000s, and mid-2000s cheese, but it's still quite a bit of fun to watch, and I try to watch them around every year. Nowadays, a lot of people associate him as the best Santa Claus. Me, he's at number 5 for a reason. Let's move on to number 4.
Merry Christmas to all!
Number 4 is Kelsey Grammer from Mr. Saint Nick. Now, I know this one sucks. I know this movie is completely stupid and ridiculous, and it's one of the shittiest Hallmark movies in the fucking world. But I like it. Kelsey Grammer has a lot of fun. He basically plays the son of Santa Claus, and his dad wants him to take over the role as Santa. And finally, when he finally nuts up and does the job, he's a very likable version of Santa. He's a much more laid-back character, and I thoroughly enjoy him as Santa Claus just because it's more of a slacker Santa Claus. It's not like, well, the other Santas on this list. This one is just more fun. Plus, we get to watch Dr. Fraser Crane as Santa Claus. I mean, how can you go wrong? And people that actually watch Frasier, that watch my videos, keep him away from Roz. You know why. Anyhow, it's just a lot of fun, and personally, it does get you in the Christmas spirit. I personally own the movie, I like it, and Kelsey Grammer just is a lot of fun in almost anything he's in. I have never seen a bad performance from this guy, and playing jolly old Saint Nick is no exception here. He is great and always will be. Let's go to number 3.
Why, look here. Changing from bad to good's as easy as taking your first step.
Now we're on to more of the wholesome performances. Mickey Rooney as Santa from Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Now, this might have been a lot of people's very first Santa Claus, and it had to be. It's just a fun, enjoyable little film, and honestly, Mickey Rooney captures Santa Claus really well. I like the fact that you get to see Santa as a young man here, and how he became the jolly old Saint Nick later on. It's really interesting to see it, but it's Rankin Bass. I mean, you could tell the puppetry here is very cheaply made. The stop motion, what's going on here? What the hell is this? But still, Mickey Rooney's voice and performance is so well likable that you can't help but really enjoy his character and personality as the movie goes on. It's just a fun little short, and the music in here is catchy. Put one foot in front of the other. Okay, I'm sorry, didn't mean to hurt anybody's ears, but if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend checking it out. This was probably my first Santa Claus that I remember. Anyhow, I mean, even before Tim Allen Santa Claus took over. And I think it's a lot of other people's very first Santa, too. Getting to see Santa as a young man in kind of a prequel story is actually a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And if you have, watch it again. It's always fun. Anyhow, let's go on to the next Santa.
You see gum on the street, leave it there. It's not free candy.
Number 2 is Ed Asner from Elf. Actually, he wasn't just Santa Claus in just this movie. He was Santa Claus in a cartoon as well. But I'm not going to count that. I don't remember the cartoon's name. I just know that he was Santa Claus at one point. This is what you call the overworked and tired, exhausted Santa Claus. A Santa Claus that's just trying to make people believe again. And honestly, he's portrayed by a fantastic actor. Ed Asner was a national treasure to the world. That's all I'm going to say. He really brings a strong likability in this movie. Even though this is a comedy movie, you can see that Ed Asner is just fantastic. And he seems more tired than anything when it comes to having to deal with Buddy. Okay, Santa, I do want to help you. I'll shoot Will Ferrell. Just give me a gun, I promise. I'm just kidding. Elf is one of those movies that I get greatly annoyed by because, like in A Christmas Story, they like to keep it on rewind every year from November till the end of December. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. And I went to the theater to see this fucking movie. Oh god. But the performances in it are still good. James Caan does a good performance as the asshole dad, but it's James Caan. He's always an asshole. And then there's Ed Asner, who is a fantastic Santa Claus. I could go on and on about how well he has portrayed Santa. Being Santa means everything to him. But if he's number 2 on the list, who could be number 1? Well, you guys are going to think this is a dumb choice, and you're going to probably say that I ripped off another YouTuber's version of this, but I don't care. I happen to agree with this YouTuber. Let's go to number 1.
You don't get rich by doing a once-a-week children's program on local television. You've got to do it for other reasons.
Lucille from Ernest Saves Christmas. Yes, I know this is a dumb movie. And yes, I know, I'm aware that the Nostalgia Critic picked this as his number 1 favorite Santa Claus too. Many years ago, actually. But I can't disagree with him. He's a fantastic, perfect Santa. And he's completely different than most Santas that we'd see. You could see how much he loves doing this job. How much it means to him. He captures Christmas perfectly. The kids feel a connection to him. Everybody loves him. And then you can't help but believe him. It's a stupid premise. Hell, there's even a scene where he's in prison and he gets all the prisoners to sing 12 Days of Freaking Christmas. And when Ernest is in disguise and says he's not Santa, the fucking convicts threaten Ernest saying he really is Santa Claus. How badass is that? Also, his connection to the kids, his voice in general. By the way, if anyone doesn't know, that's the Sultan from Aladdin, and I mean the good Aladdin, playing Santa here. It's just perfect. Honestly, yes, the movie is ridiculously stupid, but this is my favorite Santa Claus. Every time I see him on screen, I'm just smiling. I feel a warmth in my heart. And basically what the Nostalgia Critic said about him is very true in general. This Santa, there hasn't been a better one. Yes, I know there are other Santas like that TV show that just came out on Netflix, but I didn't like it. This Santa, Douglas Seale, will always be Santa Claus to me. And I think another fact of it is, this was also one of the very first Santa Clauses that I watched and got to know really well, because I would watch this with my family all the time. We were big Ernest fans, and I absolutely love it. Just seeing him on screen just is a treat alone. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend giving it a shot. And I'm going to say Douglas Seale's performance as Santa is worthy of being number one on my list. I know I ripped off the Nostalgia Critic, but when he's right, he's right. And that's it. That's my list. So that ends this top 5 Santa Claus list. I know it's short, and I probably could have easily done a top 10, but I don't know. Maybe I'll work on something else special this year. Anyhow, I've got to say, I'll see you all later. Always remember, I'm listening, and Merry Christmas.